What's going on, guys? Kevin back once again, and we got a new interview in line with the one and only Mr. Wright Way, or do we just call you by a different name?
I mean, people call me by different names behind my back on Facebook sometimes. I don't know. This is Mr. Right Way. It's good.
What's going on? How are things in your neck of the woods?
It's good. It's good. Just trying to get this stuff together, these collections together, trying to get these videos done, getting ready to do some uh right here, some 3DS videos.
Oh wow.
About some about some rare well, I ain't say well they kinda are games that you need to pick up that may not that gonna be expensive later. And that's a lot of 3DS games that are super rare. Like I'll give you a hint. Like these two games right here, this 50 classic games
Oh
and
nice.
this fire. It's hard to find those two,
Hmm.
especially complete. These games are really hard, especially this one. You
Yeah.
can
No,
find maybe like they at the time on eBay, it may be like five, less than 10.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
they got a super rare game right here. Is like this Nintendo big box Frogger 3D.
Oh
This thing is
yeah,
so
that
good.
one's getting tougher to find in the big box.
And then
So
like
yeah,
Alien Chaos 3D. That's a rare one.
yeah, that's a good
And
one. I don't usually see that one around that often.
then this
And Rhythm Thief,
yeah,
nice.
Rhythm Thief is, and then talking about what's rare is these right here. Is these Yokai Watch games?
Yeah, we've seen those go up in price a lot. Have you
Man, they
been
went.
surprised by how expensive those have gotten lately?
Yeah, I have. It's like it jumped prices like within 2 months. The last 3 months, all these things dropped, and these games are going up.
Wow.
And it's just it's crazy.
Yeah, that's the one thing about 3DS collecting, or just like any collecting for a system whatsoever, is that during the pandemic, it pretty much just raised it up by like threefold, even like quadruple the amount. Now, as a personal collector, I do actually have some questions about that. Were
Let's
there,
go. Let's talk.
yeah, were there some systems that you were surprised to see go up, aside from just the modern stuff, like anything pre NES or somewhere in between NES to GameCube that you're surprised of?
PlayStation 3. PlayStation 3 and Wii U. Some games on the Wii U, like I was surprised when Game and Wario shot up
Oh
because
yeah.
that was a $50 game, and then it became an $80 game. Then it became a $100 game. Now it's like a $200 game. I was like, oh my goodness,
Wow.
like what? Yeah, it's an expensive game now.
Yeah,
And the book of Unwritten
yeah.
Tales 2, the book of Unwritten Tales 2 is the same way. It's creeping up. It's creeping up like a $300 game. And then Devil's Third, it got two prints, but it's like a $600 game now. It's like that's crazy. So Wii U, PS3, and now surprisingly 3DS. But I was more shocked with the 3DS because I just didn't see it as a system that I collected for it before I sold my collection last year, and I was gonna do a full set at first. But then it's like I got out of it, focused all my energy on the Wii U, and then like, wait a minute, I need to get it on 3DS. Soon as I started focusing on the 3DS, I saw selling prices go like from here, like especially some titles, like two book dollar titles, stuff like this, didn't go up. And then like this may go up, Naruto, because it's like a it's a cool game. It's a pretty cool game. It's like it's off this if you ever seen Naruto, I think it's like the chibi version of this right here. This is actually a
Oh
cartoon.
yeah.
I saw my son watching it, and I like Naruto, but it's more of a comical Naruto adventure, and they made a game out of it. So I think that game may go up. It's a lot of games in here, like this, and it's one thing about 3DS. It's a good system. I really do think the 3DS system, if you get the whole library, you got a lot of good games. It's a lot of good games on the 3DS. A lot of good games. I'm talking about like about 200 good games.
Yeah, and it's also backwards compatible, which was one of the things about it that really attracted me to that system in particular. And I
Mm-hmm.
guess you could say Wii U as well, considering it's a it's a super Wii at that point, considering you can play Wii titles on it.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you talking about backwards compatible with the DS? You talking about?
Yes, for
Yeah.
3DS. Yeah.
It is like that. Like getting systems and different stuff. Even the systems now, man, are outrageous.
Hmm.
Are outrageous. Like I'm going over here. Let me see. Look at my system catalog over here, and I need to switch that out. But like I got two systems like this Pikachu. I don't know if you can see it really
Oh
good on here,
yeah,
but
I can see that clear now.
yeah, this Pikachu one,
Yeah.
and then this Galaxy one right here.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, I got my wife one, the same one, and then I picked me one up in a trade. But these systems are like like $300 a piece. They're the same amount as they came out, you know. And then I have a Zelda one, but I just been collecting the systems too, so it's been really good. These systems are really good. The battery is only going to start getting new batteries now since they're so old. About like these are these at least about 5 years old. Batteries don't last that long. New batteries, got to put new batteries and find good batteries for that. But yeah, man, this the 3DS is just so surprising. I can think that's gonna be a really collector's item later on because it's Nintendo. It did sell well, but it was underappreciated just like the Wii U. And both of those systems are gonna like just be like GameCube, probably more than GameCube.
Yeah, I would say that it's definitely going to be more appreciated now, and I think we're seeing that more so with people doing video retrospectives of the Wii U, because I remember nobody was talking about Xenoblade Chronicles X when it was on the
Oh,
Wii U, except for the collector's edition,
mm-hmm.
and I still think that that was one of my favorite exclusives for the console. But since I brought that up, and since we're on the topic of Wii U, what made you attracted to want to collect like all the games and like the any of the exclusives, or is it just because of the fact of the nicheness of it?
I like the Wii U. I'm one of the few people who like bought the Wii U on day one. Me and my friend, we he bought like two. I was gonna buy two, but I said I'm buying the black and the white. I just bought the 32 gig black.
Oh yeah.
I I think the Wii U was just a great system. It could play the Wii games. It played all the Wii games, and it had like at the time, tablets with all of the rage. Had a tablet and the stuff it promised it could do, and making phone calls and playing over. It was just great. I love the aesthetic of it. I'm looking at it now. It's like, man, let me get it from over here. Uh,
He's got it
like,
on hand.
yeah, I got it right my way. Like this Wii U right here, man. It's so great, and it's like kind of like oh, okay, there we go. I also tested my new Wii U. I had just picked up a Wii U from a Goodwill, like a pad, and I just tested it out, and I had to switch it out. So, but anyway, long story short, I just think this thing is amazing. This big pad right here, the big Nintendo pad, where it got a camera here and touch screen, and then you can play some games on here. And I don't have my Wii U hooked up, but I just like this. This is like amazing. This is actually, you know, I would say the prototype to the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Because you look at it, this is the Switch. You break this off here, break here. That's this is the Switch. This is the prototype. The prototype to Switch. The Wii U failed because they wanted money to fund the Switch. That's why I say.
And
That's
I
how I
can
look at it.
definitely see that too, because there's a
I
lot of
love the
people.
Wii U.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that, for whatever reason, if they've never played the system before, that
Mhm.
they would say that it was one of the worst experiences out there.
It
And
wasn't.
yeah, they.
People just talk.
Yeah.
The people who say that really didn't dive deep into the Wii U because you got great games on there. I mean, like what game? I'm saying what games? I'm just looking at my library right now. Zombie U is really good. The
Oh,
Batman
yes, it
game is
is.
good. Like the Batman game on here, you can like this is like
Mm-hmm.
utility belt and all the stuff on here. That's pretty good. Tekken Tag Tournament is really good on
Oh,
Wii U,
yes.
especially when you get the Pro controller. Super Mario 3D Land. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they put it on Switch. It was so good. Breath of the Wild started on the Switch. It just got ported to
Mm-hmm.
the. I mean, Wii U just got ported to the Switch. It just a lot of great games like Hot Wheels World's Best Driver, Need for Speed, Most Wanted, so good on here. What else is on there?
First Mario Maker, and I think
Yeah, the Mario
Splatoon
Maker is
1
really
is,
good.
yeah.
The Mario Maker, I'm looking at all. I'm telling, I can guarantee you like 12, 13 games on there is be really good. And it's a short library. It's only like
Mhm.
167 games, 65 between 100. I would say under 170 games that
Wow.
you can go and just get easy. Well, not easy anymore, especially the top tier expensive games. Some top 10
Mhm.
expensive games is hard to get. It's hard. It's expensive. I wouldn't trade those for nothing.
Yeah.
It just Wii U is just amazing. I think Wii U is a good system. Wii U and the 3DS were a good generation, good seven generation, or I would consider eight.
Uh, I've lost count because there's so many
I think it's a
generations of
seven.
consoles.
I think it's a seven generation. Let me see. I mean, it probably is a seven generation. I think it's a seven generation. The Wii U is part of the seventh. Let me see. On Wikipedia, you always gotta go to Wikipedia.
Wikipedia during the interview.
You gotta always choose Wikipedia, y'all. So does it say seven generation on here? No. And it says Wii U, WEE, wow, U, like
Wow.
YU.
Yeah, that's a
That's how they got
weird,
it spelled out.
yeah, weird spelling. But yeah, it's still one of the best systems that I think Nintendo did put out, and I
Hmm.
think it was just the point of a lot of, I guess, developers had the hardest time developing games for it, and I know companies like EA were talking about wanting to develop for it, and they only did like what, one Madden game
Hmm.
in the total. I think it was like Madden 13, and that was about it. There may have been a FIFA game, but I could be wrong about that.
So going back to what generation this is, the eighth generation is the Wii U.
Oh, okay.
So the eighth generation consists of the Wii U, the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch.
Oh, that makes
And
sense.
the handheld systems, 3DS, Vita, Switch Lite. So yeah, eighth generation. The eighth
Wow.
generation was, yeah, I can see that eighth generation. Yeah.
Well, since you mentioned about Vita, what have you collected for that system yet, or is that just something?
I've collected for. I got like 10 games. Man, at one point I had like 50 games for the Vita. I would like to start collecting for the Vita again, but I don't know, man.
Mostly just
Vita,
prices?
yeah, Vita's gonna be expensive one day. Vita gonna be super expensive too. Because I like it. Vita is really good. They stopped. They didn't get. It didn't sell really well. Oh, they didn't promote it well. Limited Run had a. Oh, them limited run games gonna be hard to find. Yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah.
still, the limited run gun. Them limited run games are just wow. It just.
Yeah, because we were, there was another group I was in, and we were talking about that, where they were talking about, what was it, Stranger's Wrath, and what was the other one? It starts with an M. But it was the one that they did it was the canned drink bundle collector's edition, and I know that's like over or close to $200 now,
Mm.
but a lot of that stuff has been going up in value now because they're taking down the shops for those, and it's just going to get tougher with a lot of people just wanting to get into active physical collecting for the systems.
Mm-hmm.
But since we're talking about other obscure consoles, I know that Vita is going to be in that territory, and also with Wii U. What would you feel, since you are a collector, that is, what system would you think would be the next big thing to collect for? Like, for example, Evercade, if it ever gets to that point.
Xbox original.
Really?
Yeah, or 360. Xbox 360, PlayStation 3.
Is it mostly because the market's been dried up on PS2 and PS3, or is it just because there's not a lot of people on it right now?
It's a 20-year span. Probably PlayStation 2 also.
Okay.
Yeah, anything that's like 20, 25 years old is going to be up, going to be super collectible. You got to look at the prices on the 3DS and the Wii. That's 10 years, right?
Hmm.
Now you look at the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360. That's like 20 years, like right there. PlayStation 2 is over 20 years.
Yeah, I can definitely see that because there's when I had my shop open up in Muscle Shoals, that we
Mhm.
saw a bunch of, I think they were just like turning close to 20 years old.
Because the
And
PlayStation
yeah,
2 came out March 4th, 2000.
yep, not that long after Dreamcast. Man, it's
Mm-hmm.
surprising how long that console came out around that time.
PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 gonna be next in a couple years too.
It's amazing to see like how fast we're getting into like collector territory for like the young generation. Because I remember when I first started collecting 25 years ago, and there was like hardly nobody on it, and I just ended up getting.
Recording stopped.
I think that was the audio.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. I've still got it recording on my end. But yeah, the generational gap is so much different compared to what we had back then. So it's like it seems like more people are getting into the hobby. And since
Mm-hmm.
I said that, what personal advice would you give to any new collectors that are just getting into the hobby? Is it mostly just the money, or is it just trying to go to certain locations that aren't really uh, like a lot of people in the area that are collectors.
I'm actually making a video on this, but I would say I'll give you a little tidbit of it real
Hmm.
quick. I would collect what you like, what you grew up with. Go for that. Don't try to go for the heavy titles right now unless you got good money to, buy it. But I would say go for what you love first. If you grew up with the 360, start getting 360. Also, too, most folks growing up now probably grew up with the, I want to say with the Wii, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
with the Wii and the PS3. And so get the games that are really cheap. Like, say you grew up on a Wii, but the game came out on 362, try to find the system that or the game that has the cheapest. Try to find a game that has the cheapest on whatever system. You can say it like that, yeah, and do that.
Yeah, that's good
So like if it's
advice.
cheap, so if it's cheap on the Wii,
Hmm.
go get the Wii version. If it's cheap on the 360 or the Wii, I mean PS3, go get that, and then just start your collection like that. Know what you want to do, because I suggest anybody who want to collect is fun. Collecting is fun, and then don't worry about if you're gonna play the game. Just collect it so you can have it a little later. It's fun. It's really fun.
And then if you decide to want to get rid of it later to trade it for something else that you might want, even if it's on a newer system.
Yeah, it is.
Since we got done talking a bit about just the collecting aspects, let's get into other things pertaining to hobbies. Mainly wrestling. I know that you are really big into wrestling nowadays with either WWE, AEW, or any of the independents. Just what in particular are you watching at the moment?
I'm watching everything. I'm watching AEW. I'm watching WWE. Even sometimes NXT. Ugh. Ugh.
Not a fan.
Impact. No, not the new NXT. Impact. New Japan Pro Wrestling. Uh, GCW. Just a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I would say this is more of a perfect chance for anyone that's never experienced the Monday Night Wars, because I know that we experienced it around the 90s, and
Mm-hmm.
that was like one of the best times for me, because actually one of my favorites was when it was Monday Night Nitro in I think 1998, and Sting was choosing which NWO side to go on, and it was like it built the whole. I know, as stupid as it sounds,
No, no,
but,
no. I remember. I remember.
but yeah, it was.
That was
He
really
gets in
good.
the
That was really
ring,
good.
and yeah, he rips the shirt off, and it's like black and white, and then he Scorpion Death drops. I think it was the
Scott
Giant.
Hall.
Yeah,
I think it was
Scott
Scott
Halton.
Hall, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, but I just remember that, and then he rips the shirt off again, and it's red and black, and that was like,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that hooked me in on that. That was one of my favorites. I know looking back on it now, it's kind of stupid considering that he was the guy that was against the NWO, and he was like a WCW guy from day one, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Then it was like WCW. It was NWO Wolfpack and
Hmm.
the NWO Black and White.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it
Then
got watered down. Like after like the third year NWO, like second year, it was like sounded like going down.
But yeah, that's actually where I got my start. But when you started watching wrestling, what
Hmm.
particular year or what era would you say that you grew up on?
Hmm. What year? Wow, that was like WWF Superstars, like on USA.
Oh,
I
really?
remember.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if like I'm a lot older, but on the US network, USA Network, Prime Time Wrestling with Bobby Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon. That was like the
Nice.
main show. It was like tape matches, and then they like show the match, and then they had like they talk about it, and it was like a little. It was it was wild. And then the first Monday Night Raw, I was like live. Anything happened, it was like Raw, uncooked, uncensored, and it was like just it was great. And oh man, you used to go back and watch all those shows now.
Hmm.
But primetime wrestling, and then I remember stuff on USA. Like it was hard back in the day to watch wrestling because you had like superstars of wrestling. You had All Star Challenge. You had TNT Tuesday Night Titans. It was just so many different shows. A show I really wish they had brought back. And this is during the Attitude Era, but it was like Shotgun Saturday Night.
Oh, I
Oh, love
remember that.
Shotgun Saturday Night was just it was I loved it. It was just gritty. They'll show up in like some random bar or some random pit somewhere with a wrestling ring and people just be fighting and wrestling. It was crazy. It was crazy. That was great. That was great. I need to go back and watch it tonight. Matter of fact.
Yeah, it's actually also completely different from the ECW days because I remember when I was
Oh,
at a friend's
ECW, yeah.
house. Yeah, like not the WWECW stuff. We're talking like actual grunge, like filming and just all of this stuff, and it felt like you were watching a Tarantino film, but just in like a TV show format, and that's like some of the best memories I had with it was the Tommy Dreamer bit where he got whipped and it's like, "Thank you, sir. May I have another, sir?"
Mm.
But yeah, ended up getting the pay-per-views for that. But yeah, ECW was really good too. So since we mentioned GCW a little bit earlier, as far as like other indie promotions, what would you say is one that doesn't get a lot of eyes but deserves to get attention? Like for example, Pro
Let's talk
Wrestling
about the
Guerrilla.
NWA.
Oh, NWA, really?
Let's talk about the NWA. NWA needs to get a little bit more. They're doing big things. Yeah, a little bit more old school, but they need a little more attention. I think that'd be good.
Yeah, I think who was it? Trevor Murdoch
Mm.
or who am I thinking of? Because he got world champion
Yep.
not that long ago, I think.
Now Zack Ryder is a champion, but he's got a shoulder or bicep injury. I don't know how true that is, but we'll see. Because he got a pay per view named after him. Always ready. Whenever this comes out, it's probably going to be already over. But yeah, NWA when Ring of Honor come back, I think people need to watch more Impact. It's hard to find sometimes, but Impact Wrestling they have a lot of good stuff on there.
Yeah, I
What
think
else?
on Access TV, I believe it was what network they're on right now.
Hmm.
Yeah, those are definitely good recommendations. And what about Pro Wrestling Guerrilla? Have you watched anything from that?
I haven't because really they don't have a TV spot, and it's really like only in California, and
Yes,
I really
yes.
just don't go out that way that often. And whenever I do see it, it's on the internet, and I watch it when I see it. I mean, they had a lot of stars there, or came through Pro Wrestling Gorilla. So no, I haven't. I know I got some friends who photograph Pro Wrestling Gorilla, but nah, I just don't watch much of it. I respect it. I'm glad it's out there, but it's not for me right now to watch. Just relatively. I want to watch it.
Yeah, there's just so much wrestling now, and that's the thing. Like, there was a dead period. I want to say, uh, if it wasn't on national TV, then I think it was just a very big dead period. Because I know there was TNA wrestling, and there was also Ring of Honor, but it was on the Sinclair Broadcasting Network, and those
Yep.
were on smaller channels. But since you talked about NWA, what would you say is an underrated match from the Corgan or who's the
Billy
musician?
Corgan.
Yes, I keep getting that name wrong because I keep thinking of what was it, Corbin from WWE, but for
You think of
his
Baron Corbin,
yeah,
huh?
yeah, I keep
I
thinking of
wouldn't say
that.
interrupt. I just say watch it, but just memorable matches right now. Probably with the first All In, you know, Cody and Nick Aldis for the NWA World Championship.
Oh
That was a really good
yes.
match. And then the rematch was good. It was old school. It was really old school. I was there for that All In match, so that's why I say to me that match was really good because Cody finally got the NWA World Title. His dad held. That was good.
Yeah, that was a feel good moment,
Hmm.
especially with what was it, the first Double or Nothing, where it was just him and his brother wrestling. And that's the thing about wrestling that a lot of people I don't feel get to understand if they've never watched wrestling is that you can get real emotional from a match, and that's one of the best things about it.
Yeah.
But as far as like other aspects for wrestling, what would you say is another personal favorite of yours? Is it gimmicks or is it just the match style at all?
No, I like story. Like this whole past year with WWE with Roman Reigns, you know,
Yeah,
and
Tribal
it's been
Chief.
really, yeah, it's been really, really good.
Yeah, that was like a full turnaround for him because it felt like a lot of people thought he was stale, but they finally pulled the trigger on him to turn heel, and I think Paul Heyman was a good fit for him as like a mouthpiece, even though Roman can technically do a promo without anybody doing that for him. But let's see. Since we're on the topic of wrestling, I know that this one is back and forth between certain fans, and I know that it's a very apparent thing now in like the past 2 years. The whole topic of tribalism, are you for or against it? I know that some people are.
Look at my
They
face.
say-
Look at my stupid stuff, man. Man, wrestling is for everybody. It's wrestling. Just no matter what you watch, it's wrestling. I'm just stupid. That's like in video games. Tribalism is so silly. That's why I always wear like a PlayStation head and a Sega T-shirt and Nintendo socks or something, just
Mhm.
to mess people's head up.
And the Xbox sign in the background too. But yeah.
Yep, look, see, Xbox and PlayStation signs right here in the background. PlayStation sign is not lit up yet, but I need to let it up. I got to charge the battery. But I mean, just game. It's just. Ugh. Now it's a difference between having a preference in your favorite and being like, oh, gun ho for only this. I know some people are just really tribalism over like PlayStation and Xbox and Nintendo. It's so funny. Nintendo fans, I think, are very, very tribalistic. Tribalistic. They're very, very tribalistic, and sometimes just I don't know, man. I just see this stuff like I think it's just mostly social media. Social media drives
Yes.
a lot of that.
Yeah, I can agree with that because you go into Twitter and you're seeing your timeline where people are anti something and they say it in the stupidest way to make them sound smart. But yeah, I definitely agree with that where it needs to be for everybody and just not shoehorn your ideals to make it to where it's a bad uh, I guess like turn into a negative instead of it being
Mm-hmm.
just a positive. But yeah, that's a good thing to live by at least. But on the topic of wrestling, I know that it's not tribalism stuff anymore, but you may remember that you were a part of Undercover Boss a long
Oh yeah,
time
long time
ago.
ago. Yeah.
So the clip was Stephanie McMahon. How did you get to be a part of the show, and how did you find out later on that it was Stephanie?
Ooh, I just put a random thing. They was looking for like wrestling photographers, so I just put in a I put in an application online and I got picked. Simple as
Nice.
that, really.
Since on the topic of TV shows, was there any that you would like to be a part of? Or is it just.
Everything, man. Put me on TV. Look at this. Y'all gonna remember this like later on. We're gonna be on TV. Like, oh yeah, I did that interview a long time ago. Look at this. Check this interview out, y'all. What's going on? See all these games? No.
Oh man, this would be like a big time capsule. I know that. We've
I
done
know,
these
right?
before, yeah. But
I
it's
know.
always cool
That's
to see
why
those.
that's why I like that's why I like YouTube, man. It's so switch it over to YouTube. That's why I like YouTube. It's like you can see your growth. You can see YouTube is very great because you can see the growth in an individual over so many years, months, weeks. Just you can see that person. Like go back and look at people who are really making. When we look at them like 10 years ago, then look at them now. And it's even my stuff. I look at myself when I made YouTube first and like 7, 8 years ago. It's like, what the heck am I doing? And then now processing it now, just keep it's a constantly growing. It's amazing.
It definitely is,
And I
especially to
just
be able to
started
see it.
really doing it like really taking it seriously like a year ago.
Yeah, because I think originally you were doing tech reviews for like modern equipment, wasn't it?
Yeah, I almost forget. It was like photography and tech. Yeah, it was like photography and tech. I know some of them videos still up. Oh goodness.
Yes, they. I think they were still up last time I was looking, but I remember just
I know I hear
having
some of
much
those
different.
videos, y'all.
Well, that's how it is. Is just use that as a way to just look back and kind of see how much you've evolved over time. And I think that that's definitely something a lot more people should consider. And I know Stutter and Craig,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, from
Yeah,
the
like some of my videos. I left some of the old videos because it was just it's a good evolution of stuff. Like I didn't know what I was doing, but dang, like some of these old videos, like 11 years ago, I like got like 12K views on stuff.
oh wow,
Like I didn't even know what the heck I was doing. I was just doing what I. That's what it is. Do what you love, man. My hair was like real short. Now look how long my hair is. Like it's off camera. It's wow. I can
yeah,
appreciate these old days, man.
yeah. It was like during what we would say the Wild West period, where
12
you could literally
years
do
ago.
anything you wanted.
12 years ago. Wow. I was in my 30s. Or I was in my 30s. About to get in my 30s. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just turned 35 myself, and I've been doing YouTube stuff for, I want to say, yeah, over 15 years now. Because I think I started doing anime music videos at the time.
Oh,
But,
remember those
yeah.
back was popular, man. Those Dragon
Yes.
Ball Z videos was popular.
Yeah, with random rock music thrown in. The Linkin Park
Yeah.
ones, that was the
Oh,
ones
was
that were
great.
popular.
That was.
Well, since you brought up anime, well, I did the AMV thing, but you said Dragon Ball Z. Uh, any particular favorite animes that you're into right now?
I'm starting to watch One Piece right now.
Oh, nice. That's
Me and
actually a
my
good one.
wife, we started watching it. It's so addictive because you just can't like watch one. It ends and then like you gotta watch it right. They good at pulling you, keep pulling in. One Piece is good at storytelling, really good at storytelling. I was like, man, what Luffy gonna do? And it's like, what? He got out of this way, and it's like all about to skin his teeth if something happens. This is so funny. I remember like when I'm just like really new into One Piece, so a lot of y'all who
Mhm.
watch One Piece, y'all probably know what I'm talking about. And he made it to the island where that one pirate he chasing after and he was in that little that gavel or that chopping block and that clown pirate whatever his name Buggy Pirate was about to
Buggy,
kill him.
yeah.
Yeah, and then and Luffy like, well, I'm about to die. I was like, oh, it's so funny. He was like, he just smiling. I'm about to die. And then Buggy about to chop his head off. And then he got struck with a lightning bolt. I was like, really? I was like, wow. It was just so funny. It was just, I was like, this how he just, yep, I'm about to die. I was like, damn. It was good. It was good. It was really good. Like then, how he beat like going over, made it to the. I'm in the part now where he just made it. He haven't made it to the Grand Line yet,
Mhm.
but he just got from that island where those two giants are fighting, and he made it past there, and they going to the next part. It's great. It's getting good. It's getting good. I will sit there and probably watch it straight, but I got work to do.
Yeah, that's how every other YouTuber is, where you either have like a bat a backlog of games or just a bunch of movies and anime that you have to catch up on. But it's always that grind, that schedule that you have to follow, and to be able to, keep viewers like their attention on their
Hmm.
content. So, since we're getting close to the end of the interview, what would you say is one key essential thing that any new content creator needs to do to be able to make anything online?
Stick with it. Just do something. Just constantly. Just make sure you have a schedule. upload. Like you're gonna upload every Monday, and just keep engaging with your people. Never give up on it. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it. If your thumbnail's not working, change it. Oh,
Hmm.
thumbnails and titles are very important. Get you a it's many ways you can make thumbnails and titles. Get good thumbnails, good titles, research, and just don't give up.
That's really good because not a lot of creators usually mention about that unless you search on YouTube and see some that try to do like specific tutorials.
Hmm.
But
And it's
yeah, oh, sorry, go
like
ahead.
even now, while like we talking, I'm looking like my old videos. I'm like going back and changing the title. You never know; it might pick up. It might pick up or not. You just don't know. You I always see this thing say you're one video away from like making it, and you just don't know when that one video is.
That's definitely true. But
So you gotta keep doing it, man. You gotta keep doing it. You
that's true.
got to. It just YouTube is fun. YouTube is amazing. It's work. It's really hard work, but it's fun work.
Which I definitely agree. So,
Yeah.
because doing a lot of the research videos for some of the Uncommon Valley videos I work on, it takes like at least close to 100 hours to put one video out.
Oh,
It's
really?
yeah, it's tiring, but I'm glad when people watch it and they enjoy it. And I'm pretty sure you get that same satisfaction whenever you're just glad something's out and just to get people to watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, it's just it's amazing.
All right, so with that being said, we're going to get to one quick final subject of the video, and this is the segment that we like to call the 5 count. No, that is not a wrestling term, but it is what we like to call our five, the Booker T, five. Anyways, this is our segment that we like to highlight some channels that you feel are underrated or underappreciated that you want more eyes on. So feel free to name any types of channels or any content creators you think deserve the attention.
I already know, man. I got a lot right here. I'm gonna leave the best for last. But we got my boy, the Retro Ghetto. Make sure you check him out. Retro Ghetto talks about he just finished his Power We You set.
Oh wow.
Amazing content creator. Amazing content creator. We got Nick's Mega ZX. I'm going to send it to you because he does a really good channel. Then my boy, the video game Botry. Then the other guy is called The Life of Tay. He's just really, really good. Then my wife, her channel, she's blowing up. She started to do really good. Miss Zap Crystal, go check her out. She's now a Capcom creator.
Oh,
This
nice.
is great. Yeah, great stuff. I saw she got some free stuff. I'm like, what you get? I'm like, wow. She. I mean, she does. Resident Evil collectors, cosplay, and stuff like that. There you go, right here.
Oh,
It's one of,
that's badass.
yeah, one of these pictures that I took right here. She just did. Somebody made this, so she does really good. You gotta put that back up there. But yeah, she does real good. So yeah, a lot of people like that. This does really good.
All right, well, good deal. Thank you very much for coming out for this interview. I know that we had to reschedule a few times, but it's good to finally get this one knocked out. But
Yeah,
thank you
man.
very much, Steve, for dropping in for this whole interview.
No problem, brother. No problem. No problem. No problem whatsoever.